Minnesota Vikings have now become the number one cause of heart disease in the great state of Minnesota. Just bum, 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 every single game. And you thought that, okay, the Vikings are up 20-6 at halftime. This is the game where, they win comfortably. Nope. But the Vikings, they get it done again. Couple big-time goal line stands by the much-maligned Ed Donatell defense. They move to 10-2 on the season. That's all that matters. Another single-digit win or single-score win. The Vikings prevail 27-22. We got winners and losers, but something that will make everyone be a winner is the holiday donation drive. So all Venmos sent to the show, as well as all Super Chats sent to the show in December, will go to various Twin Cities food shelves. So at Purple FTW is the Venmo. The link is down below. Do that up, and also we'll be matching up to $1,000. So donate during this holiday season. So winners and losers. Harrison Smith is the man of the match, winner number 1. 8 tackles, had himself a pick, almost had himself the game-winning interception as well. But 5 interceptions on the season, tying a career high. Red zone tackles, making plays, just doing some great things. Also broke up what would have been a Garrett Wilson walk-in touchdown. So, 22 in 2022 is turn back time. He's really rolling things back. Plus, if you notice, this is why complaining really works sometimes, where Harrison Smith, it seemed like he spent most of his time down in the box during this game, either run blitzing, just getting after it, and just doing some really good things. So I think that Donatell's finally allowing 22 to be 22. Next up, winner number 2, Justin Friggin Jefferson. Now, you would say that 7 catches for 45 and a touchdown on 11 targets isn't that big of a stat line, but against Sauce Gardner, against DJ Reed, against that amazing Jets secondary and defense, yes, it is. And the Vikings, were able to move the ball in the first half. Third quarter, second half, not so much, until Jefferson came in and was like, hey, I'm calling game. Game-winning score in the fourth quarter. Love to see it. Patrick Jones second, setting the edge, got himself a sack, the only sack of the game that the Vikings registered. And I think that he's going to be a future starter for the Vikings, where you also saw they implemented another one of our suggestions, which means that they obviously watch the channel, is that Patrick Jones on early downs, as well as Za'Darius on passing downs, keeping 55 fresh. It's exactly what they did. Dalvin Cook running hard, 20 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. Now, I think they should have gone to him more. But in the second half, respect to our guy Rob Saleh, and the Jets defense, they adjusted well to shut down Dalvin, and they put the Vikings into third and forever situations, and then got some really good heat on Kirk Cousins. But Dalvin, when the Vikings need some tough yardage, he got it, man. 5, Kirk Cousins. I understand this is controversial, but Kirk, even though stats-wise he didn't put up monster numbers, actually, let's look. What did he end up with? All right, so Cousins ended up with 21 of 35 for $173, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. But that doesn't tell the whole story, because even though, yes, Kirk Cousins missed a couple throws that Hockenson and Justin Jefferson won notably, but Kirk dropped some dimes. Kirk made some good throws, made some good plays while under duress all damn day, and respect. Kirk Cousins is probably the toughest quarterback in the league, and I don't mean that facetiously. That's not even a homerism, but a guy who takes punishment, doesn't complain, doesn't bitch at his offensive line like a lot of prima donna quarterbacks do, and then just sits in there. And yes, he had ups and downs, but what about the throws that he made on that touchdown drive? What about that throw to Jefferson in the corner of the end zone? It was great, man. Winner number 6, Cameron Bynum. Beasley called game. Also, he had that breakup that hit on the receiver that led to the Harrison Smith initial interception as well. Making some plays along the line of scrimmage. 7 tackles. He's one of the only DBs besides Harrison who could actually tackle. Him and Patrick Peterson. Winner number 7, Diesel Dalvin Thompson. Fantastic to have him back. Really gummed up things well against the run up front. Minus that 48-yarder, which was to the outside, so I don't really count that against him. But Diesel Dalvin definitely made life a lot easier for Eric Kendricks, who we'll get to in a sec. TJ Hockenson, 4 for 33 on 6 targets. Big third down conversion. Had some great blocks as well, especially on that Alexander Madison touchdown. And yeah, Hockenson is we're that close to having a bust out one. I think Hockenson may have even scored on that play where Kirk Cousins just slightly overthrew him, but is what it is. Sean and Sullivan. So Sean also going to make the losers list, but he did have that 4th down breakup in the second half, and that's got to count for something. Eric Kendricks, 14 tackles, just flying around making plays, and I think that he greatly benefits from Diesel Dalvin being back, as well as Harrison Phillips playing at extremely high level. I think he's really settled into his role in the 3-4, and yeah, I think that Kendricks is still that guy. Duke Shelley in for Evans, just making plays. Now, Shelley missed a tackle as well as Shelley had a DPI on Garrett Wilson, but whatever. I mean, warts and all, I'll take me some Duke Shelley. I love his feistiness, especially in the red zone and end zone, and he just gets after. I like his attitude too. Linebacker rotation, again, something that we suggested. Rotating in Hicks, Asamoah, and Metellus. And now Jordan Hicks did seem to play most of the second half, so that sort of went away. But I think getting more speed on the field and getting Asamoah on the field in for Hicks, getting Metellus in for 3 safety looks on third and forevers, I think does make a lot of sense. Alexander Madison, 14-yard touchdown on the draw, running hard on that play. Harrison Phillips, solid against the run, got some pressure on the Jets as well. I think that he's a really nice all-around nose tackle. Patrick Peterson, good coverage, made some big tackles down the stretch. KJ Osborne, 2 for 17 on 3, had a 4th down conversion as well. All KJ does is catch 3rd down, 4th down, and game-winning touchdowns. That's all he does, man. Jalen Rager, speaking of catches, 38-yard bomb. Love to see it. Coming back and helping out his quarterback. Jets sweep, got some yardage. I think that he deserves 3 to 4 touches a game on offense. I think he just does have that skill set. Za'Darius, I mean, he didn't show up in the stat box, but getting pressures, creating for others. Did have that 3rd down pass breakup in the second half. Greg Joseph, hey, didn't miss one. Cool. Danielle Hunter made 3rd down pressure late in the game. Was sort of invisible, for lack of a better term. But, I mean, Daniil is still going to get his. Obviously, the Jets targeted 99 and 55, tried to keep it's like anyone else. But Daniil is going to be fine. Also, stop dropping Daniil into coverage. That's not his forte, man. The offensive line, even though they did give up 2 sacks and a couple of pressures, I think overall they had a good game plan for running at that front 7, especially in that first half. I think they did a overall decent job of keeping Kirk clean. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but the fact that you were down Darisaw, that certainly factors in. Coaching game plan, well, first half, yes. Second half, a little bit dicey, but getting up 20-6, the defense looked really good in the first half. The offense was moving the ball against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Now, they stagnated in the third quarter, and also that defense gave up 5 straight scoring drives in the second half, but they got it done at the end. Kirk Cousins, that's his 7th fourth quarter come from behind or game-winning drive of the season. Crazy, man. Also, that red zone defense. Jets 1 of 6 in the red zone. I can't sneeze at that. Losers. We got graphic. There we go. Losers. Vikings screen game. It's probably the worst in the NFL. Easily. Jets being dirty with Jefferson. So they were grabbing, they were smacking him, they were hitting him, they were doing everything that they could. I mean, they're talented enough. Like, they don't have to be that dirty, but they were. Caleb Evans on Garrett Wilson. Yeah. I mean, Garrett Wilson is fantastic, man. But Caleb Evans had himself a decent game. Seems like he got knocked out again with another concussion, which sucks. Because also I think it was Harrison that knocked him out. Sean Sullivan on Garrett Wilson, that also didn't work out, mainly because of arm tackling. Because the Vikings may have the worst tackling secondary aside from Harrison and Beasley in the NFL. It's really, really dicey and kind of sucks. Duke Shelley had DPI. That's whatever. Overall defense gave up, was it 490? Was it 498 yards of offense to Mike freaking White? Also, 46, close enough. 46. Now, they did hold them 3 of 16 on 3rd down, but then, they would just get it. It's kind of rough overall. It's kind of a rough day. Yeah. But now also the national media jabroni haircuts. But, by the way, I love Ian Eagle and Charles Davis, but it's almost like they were part of the Jets broadcast. Like, this is a preseason game. It's like, the Jets, they only scored a field goal, but the Vikings only got a field goal as well, and all that stuff. It's just carrying water. Like almost they were Mike White's agents on this game. I don't get it. I don't understand it, man. But the NFC, currently, it's looking like a 2-horse race. So the Niners are playing the Dolphins as we speak. Really, the only team that could catch either the Vikings or whoever's going to win the NFC East. It looks like it's going to be the Eagles, who put the spanking on the Tennessee Titans this afternoon. But the Vikings need the Eagles to slip up a couple times, and then the Vikings just need to take care of their business and win out. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You can only control what you can control, and we're on to Detroit, finishing up the NFC North slate with 3 road games in division. But the Vikings will return home versus the Colts, as well as the Giants on Christmas Eve. So we'll just go from there. Again, 1-game season, 1 game at a time. We're on to Detroit, and guess what? Vikings win next week. The division secured week 14. It's pretty damn good. But your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings, outlast the Jets 27-22. We got winners and losers. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts. Who are your winners and losers? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.